Hello, one of the may I start?
Yes, please start.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Going to
sir.
the our okay. We are going to our second class, that is about what is open educational. What is open educational resources?
All of you keep your audio in mute. Abhijit, use the headphone.
Okay.
You are having a feedback.
Okay, let us start. So now first is the what is the definition of OER or what is OER? Actually, there is no standard definition of OER, but according to UNESCO in 2002, the OER, the first term was defined by UNESCO. So according to UNESCO, what is OER? OER is any type of educational materials that are in the public domain or introduced with an open license. In this sentence, two key term is there. One is public domain and another is open license. Public domains means copy left document, মানে those documents which have lost their copyright period, they are restored in the public domain. And open license means there are various open license. Open access documents are generally hosted in the web page or websites or repository through an open license. Open license is just like a copyright. So the main features of this open educational resources is that anyone can legally and freely copy it, use it, adapt it, and reshare. But without attribution, it is not possible. Attribution means who is the producer of OER. We have to always make attribute the producer of OER. OER range, মানে what is OER? From textbook to curricula, মানে syllabus, curriculum, lecture notes, assignment, test, question paper, project, audio video, and any animation included in the OER. So what is OER? And the term OER was coined by the UNESCO. From the UNESCO definition, we have the four features. One is open access, another is open license, another is open format, another is open software. So four O's are there. Open access means all educational resources that are called open access, because when open educational resource, any resources, when we call it open educational resources, it must be open access. It must not be it should not buy from anywhere. It is always free. that is open educational resources, the first and foremost feature is it is always open access. Anyone can access anytime from anywhere. Next, open license. So any educational resources that are hosted in the any public website or any website, web pages or repository, it must be an open license. It must be bear with the open license. Without open license, it cannot be open educational resources. This is the second main feature. And third is open format. Open format means the format is easy to compatible any software, any medium. It is called open format. And open software means the software whose source code is open. So open educational resources must be developed through open software. So these are the main 4 features of the open educational resources that we get from the UNESCO definition in 2002. Actually, UNESCO coined the term in 2002. There are other definitions of UNESCO different times. Another definition is teaching, learning, and research material in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in the public domain and have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. So here also we note the 2 key points. One is public domain in the second line, and another is the open license in the second line. 2 key terms is there. In another definition of UNESCO, open educational resources are teaching, learning, and research materials that are either in the public domain or licensed in a manner that provides everyone with free and perpetual permission to engage in the 5R activities. In this definition, one new term is there, that is 5R. So what is 5R? We'll discuss later. According to William Flora and Hewlett Foundation, the term open educational resources come from open education to encompass with the myriad of learning resources, teaching practices, education policies that use the flexibility of OER to provide learners with high quality educational experience. Creative Commons defines OER are teaching, learning, research materials that are either in the public domain or licensed in a manner provides everyone with free and perpetual permission in the 5R activities. A 5R, what are the 5R activities? Here written: retaining, remixing, revise, reusing, and redistributing. We shall discuss later about this. Another definition of the Cape Town Open Educational Declaration: open educational resources should be freely shared through open licenses which facilitate use, revision, translation, improvement, and sharing by anyone. Resources should be published in format that facilitate both use and editing, and that accommodate a diversity of technical platform. And whenever possible, they should also be available in format that are accessible to people with disabilities and people who do not yet have access to the internet. And according to OER Commons, open educational resources are teaching, learning materials that you may freely use and reuse without change. And OER often have a Creative Commons or GNU license. So in the previous slide, I told you the open license. So Creative Commons license is called open license or GNU license. So later we discuss what is open license. That states specifically how the material may be used, reused, adapted, and shared. So from all this definition, the basic feature is the same: open content, open license, open access, and public domain. but some differences are there. What is the difference? In this slide, you will see, according to Hewlett Foundation, open copyright license required? Yes. Right of access, adaptation, republication? Yes. Non-discriminatory rights given to everyone? Yes. And does not limit use in the form? Yes. So Hewlett Foundation, according to Hewlett Foundation, the 4 are yes. And according to UNESCO, 4 are yes. So Hewlett Foundation and UNESCO both define OER in the same way. But according to Cape Town, Wiki-Educator and OER Commons, something difference is that according to license, open copyright license required, but OER Commons says there is no requirement of open copyright license. So this is the basic differences of OER definitions between the different organizations. But we will adopt always UNESCO definition. So from these definitions, if we summarize the points, so we see the openly licensed, freely available, and modifiable. Main 3 things are there. Openly licensed means either CC license or GNU license. Freely available means these resources must be freely available online without any bar. Anyone can access anytime, from anywhere. Physical OER may be sold at a low cost to facilitate printing. Modifiable means these resources must be made under open license that allows for editing. So if we want to edit any OER, we can edit and resubmit them, but there are some restrictions of license. Some license allows you to modify the OER but cannot sold. That is non-commercial license. Some license allows you can modify the open educational resources according to your own choice, but can be sold. That is commercial license. So what is CC license and what are their variant features? So in the latter we shall discuss. Now in the previous slide we came to know the 5 R's. These 5 R's of OERs, actually the main characteristics of OERs. So these 5 R's was coined by the very term coined by David Willey. So what are the 5 R's? Reuse, revise, remix, redistribute, and retain. So what is reuse? Reuse means right to use the content in a wide range. So that reuse means the use of OER should be in a wide range of way so that everyone can access it. Revise. Revise means anyone has right to adapt, adjust, modify, alter the content itself. They can alter the content. They can translate the content into another language. They can modify, they can improve. It is his or her liberty, but they cannot revise the OER and sold it in the market if they are licensed commercially. So before revise, before adaptation, before modification, you have to look out what are the CC license bear with the OER. Remix. Remix means right to combine original or revised content. One OER can be combined with another 2 or 3 OER materials. And it can be a new one, but it must be attributed. Means who is the original producer of the OER? So that producer should be attributed by you. Otherwise, you would be in a license broker. Redistribute. Redistribute means right to share copies of the original document. When you have the right to share the copies of the original document without revisions or after revisions. retain right to make, own and control copies of the content. Meaning you can download it, copy it, you can store it in your storage area, you can manage it somehow. So these are the main characteristics of fibers. So what is the open educational resources? Open educational resources means any teaching learning materials that are reside in the public domain or having open licensed. So these are called open educational resources. So but in the internet you will find several OER, but several educational resources, but all educational resources are not OER until and unless they have open license, they have open access, they have open content. This is the basic or key features. Now, why OERs? Because of the globalization, demographic, dynamic demography, new approaches to governance, technology, anyone, anytime, anywhere, and this pandemic situation force us to use an adaptation of OER. Globalization has triggered OER, online conferences, chatting, getting lecture from experts, sitting abroad are the examples of OER. OER provides global access for everyone for using, for learning and teaching purpose. And dynamic demography, the reduction in the traditional 18 to 25-year-old student age group will affect institution in a number of countries. So this decline may be offset by increased participation rate and flow of foreign students. Say a person who is entered in the profession wants to learn some basic course or wants to learn something. So for this OER is needed. And distance education is growing rapidly. In the distance education, OER is very important. So these are the cause of the birth of OER. New approaches to governance. Authorities need quality governance. OER initiative can be said to cater for improved quality control to enhance transparency and comparability between institutions, departments, faculty members, as well as direct feedback from both enrolled and informal learners. And technology, continuous development of ICT, huge mass use of internet. So this is the main cause of by emergence of OER. And everyone wants to access the documents anytime at his convenient time, at his convenient or preferable time. So anywhere, anytime, anyone can access it. It is very helpful. And in the pandemic situation, no one is accessing the library, but in spite of library, they can use the OER as their document. They can use it, revise it, they can read it, they can browse it, they can print it, they can download it. So it is very helpful. And it is also cost saving and it is easy to store. No huge storage or mass area is required. So these are the causes of OERs. Now, what are the types of OER? OER are articles, audio clips, any course assignment, any course materials, data, any full courses, instructional games, lecture notes, modules, quizzes, reading list, software, streaming videos, syllabi and lesson plans, textbooks, and any other tools, materials or techniques to support access to knowledge. any other tools, materials or techniques having educational value, or any other tools, materials or techniques to support teaching learning activities, they are also included in the OER. Now, what are the advantages of OER? Why so we should adopt OER? According to government perspective, it is the advanced knowledge by unlocking information for the benefit of all and widen participation in higher education by expanding access to non-traditional learners. Learners who are in service, but they want to study more for their job or something, for their knowledge hankering. So they can use OER and they can also under the umbrella of distance institution. So this is that they are the advantages of OER. So government wants to promote lifelong learning. See, if you want to register in the National Digital Library, so one point is there, the type of learners, and there is a column, the lifelong learning. So everyone should tick on the lifelong learning. And it is the bridge the gap between formal, informal and non-formal learning. Any type of formal learning, OER can be used. Informal learning, OER can be used. And it saves the taxpayer money because less cost is involved in developing OER. If we want to go to the institutional perspective, it is the attraction of the alumni as a lifelong learners. It improves recruitment by helping the right student find the right programs. So there are several programs of regarding open educational, open distance learning. So you can help the student by providing OER to enrich their knowledge and also get certification. Provides a resource for students and faculty, and sharing knowledge is very much congruent to academic tradition. And public image of the institution may be enhanced. New students will be attracted to know the institutional having the facility of OER. So this is the advantage according to institutional perspective. And if we go to the perspective of student, it is an independent learner. Any student is an independent learner who has accessed the internet, can access materials from best universities of the world. So if he studied under Bardwan University, so he can search University of South Wales. He can search the OER from University of South Wales because all are open access, all are open educational resources, so they can study. So it is most beneficial for the student. See, there is no boundary of learning. So OER also promotes informal learning where credential is not needed. Not only all students want to study only to get certificate, but they want to study for enhance their knowledge. So OER is needed. And the prospective student may access institution by looking at their material made available by other institution. So these are the advantages of OER according to student perspective. But there are some disadvantages also. What are the disadvantages? Quality varies. So more and more OER now have been produced by different institution or organization, and they are all hosted in the public domain, as a result of which this quality may differ between them. So choice of OER is very difficult due to this. And varying degrees of time commitment. Teachers sometimes not rewarded by the system for their efforts. The teachers who produce the OER, who has written the content of the OER, they are not rewarded properly. because nobody knows the name of the content writer of OER. They only search for their subject purpose. It may not meet the accessibility requirement for person with disability. So disabled person cannot access properly and need to check accuracy before use. If you want to use the open educational resources, you should check properly whether these open educational resources may be produced by any authentic university or institution or organization or not. And it may need a high degree of customization according to local needs. The OER cannot be produced. Not only all disciplines of OER can be available in the internet. All languages of OER can be available in the internet. And technical requirements vary. In some required to use a particular software, and also financial support, and also copyright clearance sometimes is a problematic. And some institution, as their wish, they give away the OER always. As a result of this, OER may be plagiarized. And plagiarism is there. Plagiarism means taking someone ideas and copying it and reproduced it through your own name. Actually, this idea, this content written by other author, but you will write it as its own. So these are the main disadvantages of OER. Now a point arises, so what are the difference between OER and other free and open resources available in the internet? This is the very important. So open educational resources means openly licensed, yes, freely available, yes, modifiable, yes. But all free online resources under all rights reserved copyright, openly licensed, no. Freely available, yes. Modifiable, no. All online resources under all copyright. So if online resources under copyrighted document, they are not OER. The point should be kept in mind. All online resources available in the internet, but they are copyrighted document, they are not open licensed, they are not modifiable, but they may be used freely. And materials available through your university library, they are not open educational resources because they are not open licensed, but they are freely available, but they cannot be modifiable. And open access articles and monographs, that is also open licensed and they are freely available, and sometimes they are modifiable, not all times they are modifiable. So mainly the open educational resources and other free and open resources available in the internet, basic difference is they are copyrighted document, they are not open license document. If any content is regarded as OER, it must be open licensed, freely available and modifiable. Now, what are the challenges of OER? Availability of subject. Many of the largest OER projects funded over the past 15 years targeted high cost, high impact courses to save students money. Because of this, most of the OER available today are for general education course such as psychology, biology, calculus, mathematics. This does not mean that there are no OER available for specialized subject areas. However, there are more resources to choose from the instructor who teach introduction to psychology or machinery production, agriculture. So this type of specialized subject OER may be a little bit difficult. Format and material availability. As with the subject availability, the format and types of OER that have been developed over time have largely been targeted as high enrollment courses, which could see the substantial cost saving for students. And there are many open textbook available today, but fewer options for ancillary material. You can find lecture slide, notes, lesson plans online, but ancillary content such as homework, software, test bank are very harder to find. Time and support availability. Although the other challenges to OER use are inherent to the resources themselves, this final drawback is a concern for you as a user and creator. It takes time and effort to find OER that might work for your course. And if you want to create and publish a new OER, that makes exponentially more time. So time constraints are always going to be an issue for instructor who want to try something new in their course. So luckily, there are resources available to help you locate, adopt, and implement OER. And availability of the technology. Yeah, there are various open source software. There are various types of open content available. That is why the choosing of right content or choosing of right software sometimes may be difficult to create or produce OER. Now a question arises, where to find OER? The main point is that if we want to find the textbook, so for textbook, B Campus is BC Open Education. So this resource page is a good place to start to find both general information about OER and a list of textbooks that have been created or recreated by OER. Available under Open Creative Common Creative License. Number 2, OpenStax. It is supported by Rice University. OpenStax is a huge collection of open reviewed textbook and large variety of subjects. Third is Project Gutenberg, a collection of tens of thousands of digitized books available for download. Audiobooks are also available here. And fourth is AU Press. Athabasca University's AU Press publishes open access journals and books, mainly focusing on Canada, North American West, and circumpolar North. If we want to find courses, so Khan Academy is a very popular, you know that. Then their OER is much enriched. So a collection of instructional videos, practices, their exercises, including math, science, history, economics. And MIT OpenCourseware, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, offers free access to almost all disciplines are available MIT course content. And Stellar Academy, a non-profit organization committed to provide free and open online courses. Coursera, an educational platform partnered with dozens of prestigious universities, University of London, Toronto, etc. And Swayam is an Indian initiative of MOOCs. In Swayam, you can see the number of courses. And if we want to search multimedia, it is a Creative Commons search. It is a repository. Actually, it is a repository of various types of media, including images, music, videos, and Vimeo. Videos with a CC license can be found through advanced search option. And Flickr. Flickr is an online photo management and sharing application. Many photos are available under CC license. So from these websites, you can download it, use it, but according to CC license. And there are a lot of supplementary or ancillary materials like lecture notes, lesson plan, PowerPoint. So PHET, interactive math and science simulation with lesson plans and activities. And OER Commons. OER Commons is a large collection of varieties types of OER, including textbook, course, and all type of ancillary materials. And many universities recently have research guides related to finding OER and that provide a list of various repositories. Simon Fraser University, University of British Columbia, Polytechnic University, University of Victoria. So these are the sources of OER. There are many other sources. Later we shall discuss. So in today's discussion on what is OER, types of OER, advantages and disadvantages of OER, challenges of OER, and how to find the OER. So these are the module and unit we have studied today. So first of all, we have studied what is OER, that is definition of OER. Next, the advantages, disadvantages, features of OER, types of OER, challenges of OER, why should we use OER, and lastly, we discussed the where to find the OER. So according to textbook, if we want to textbook, so these are the sources. If we want to search courses, so these are the sources. If we want to multimedia, these are the sources. And if we go to supplementary materials, these are the source. So that's all for today. If you have any query, please raise. Hello.
Thank you, sir, for this type of nice presentation, sir. Sir, I have a questions that how can I access these courses from various types of OERs, that is, some are textbooks, some are courses, some are multimedia. Then how can I access this course or these materials from those licensing authority?
In the 4th week classes, you can learn this chapter. How can you use it? What are the search strategy? You will learn it in the later period. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I have another question. When the Meet is functioning, how the host can record? I want to record the material, but I cannot find the record option. It is we have to buy this Meet, Google Meet, so that we can record, or anyone can record this.
Now you have to buy the Google Meet.
Or then we can record.
Hello. All assignments, all lecture notes, all study mat will be provided through your registered mail ID. So don't worry. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anyone?
Hello, sir. Sir, my question is that how should we are trying to aware to other persons about OER?
I could not get you, Amit.
Hello?
Repeat your question.
My question is that how we can aware any students or research person about the OER sources.
Oh, achha. Awareness of OER. So awareness of OER, for this you have to arrange some workshops or some seminars. What is OER? What types of OER are available in the internet, and how the researcher can use it. So these are 4-week course. If you attended the 4-week lecture, so some are practical portion is there. So there you will find how to search it. What are the search strategy? Where to find it? You can detail in. This is the introduction part. So what is OER and types of OER, features of OER. This is the main part for today. But in the later week, you will learn all these things. So mainly awareness programs can be done through seminar, workshops. These are the or various links you should collect in a paper. The sources of OER, links of sources of OER collect in a paper, means a word document, and you make it PDF and send the mail to all researchers. So they can use it through the link. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone? Anyone? No question is there? So shall I end the program? Hello, one of the.
I think there is no question. We can end the program here.
Yes.
I will send you the attendance.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, sorry I'm interrupting. Is it
Hmm.
possible that we could get this slides also? So these were very informative.
I have already told that all lecture notes, study mats, all should be sent to your registered mail ID.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, Arnab.
Okay, I'm shutting down the recording.
Okay.